Welcome back. We're off to LA in 5 minutes with the latest celebrity to fall foul of the law. But first, closer to home, and we're talking about the new drama that's making a name for itself every weekend. If you haven't caught The Pillars of the Earth yet, well, this is what you've been missing.
You ask us to grant you a license to hold a market.
The income from which will be used to finish building a cathedral.
Finish? How did you pay for the start of it?
We had a license, Empress, but it was lost. King Stephen, the usurper, Stephen, refused to grant us another.
Why is that?
He kept his reasons to himself.
May I speak, my Empress? The market at Kingsbridge was closed because it took money from the one at Shiring.
The rule is that markets must be at least 14 miles apart. Kingsbridge and Shiring are 20.
Stephen nevertheless decided.
What Stephen decided is of no interest to us.
And the two young stars of the show, Hayley Atwell and Eddie Redmayne, join me now. Good morning.
Morning.
Is this the first time you've been reunited for a while? Have you seen each other?
Do you know, oddly, we're both working at the moment at Shepperton Studios on different jobs. So we've sort of bumped into each other at the doing our jobs.
Doing
but
your
no,
jobs
it's been
as
a
you
while
do.
otherwise.
I got a knock on the trailer door of Eddie in a completely different costume.
Did you
in a different era.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, Pillars of the Earth, huge budget drama, isn't it? For television, 25 million. Very big names in there with you guys. Is that slightly intimidating? You're sort of relatively new to the business. You're in there with Ian McShane and Donald Sutherland.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what was amazing for us is because it's such an epic story, and it's about the building of this cathedral. That's at the sort of the nucleus of the story. Was that so much of that actual cathedral had been built, and so rather than normally green screen and all this, having to imagine the scale of these things, actually in a field in Hungary, this huge, vast structure was created, and that was kind of wonderful. So the money was spent in those sorts of areas and in the scale of the productions. That was wonderful
It was actually very helpful to us because it felt like you're already inhabiting a world that's already there.
It's very
for
authentic
you.
already.
Yeah,
Shot
absolutely.
in Hungary for 5 months.
Yeah,
that quite hard going?
It was, in the sense that we passed through seasons and we started off sweltering because the costumes were so big and it was so hot there. And then by the time we finished actually in Vienna, it was freezing cold. So we felt like, well, I certainly felt like it was much longer than
And inevitably you're playing against the seasons. So the moment there's a scene, a montage of the cathedral being built with snow pouring down, of course that's fake snow, and you're all in 40-degree heat in Hungary. I don't know.
Why do they do that?
Sort out the shades of it.
It's sort of set in medieval times. It's quite hard going in terms of, you know, it's grisly. I mean, it's very authentic of the times, isn't it? It's a very bleak time. There's famine, there's strife, there's all kinds of religious tensions going on. And I've sort of tended to notice over the years that actors say that the harder core it is on screen, the naughtier everybody is behind the camera.
There you go.
Is that true? Who was the naughtiest
Oh, well, there's a big bunch of English actors out there who, you know, very much kind of enjoyed the social aspect of it. And
that's a nice way of putting it.
Very much enjoyed
the social aspect.
Oh, it's going to be much more
There are a bunch of lager lads.
Yeah, exactly. No. Yeah. We would work hard during the week, and then it would get to weekends, and there was a sort of island in Budapest, which is like a sort of club island, and we'd end up sort of embarrassing ourselves at the weekends.
Yes, getting rid of the tensions of the week.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
Now, you mentioned you were both filming at Shepperton. You're in this huge budget sort of American movie, Hayley, Captain America.
Yes,
from the Marvel comics. Completely different experience?
Yes, completely different. She's a
look, there you
military lady. Oh, there she is. Yeah, taking herself very seriously.
I heard you do military training. Is that true?
Well, yeah,
in Primrose Hill.
Very nice part.
In a very leafy part of London.
I ended up nicknaming it Primrose Hell because it was just getting, the hills were getting so big, and but it was part of the training was to just 6 days a week just have that kind of circuit training and building up core strength, so that by the time I get on set and was holding these machine guns, I was able to look kind of trying to look convincing.
You knew what you were doing.
Yeah.
And you were at Shepperton as well, Eddie, shooting. Fascinating film. I can't wait to see this. Is it My Week with Marilyn?
My Week with Marilyn, yeah.
True story.
Indeed, yeah.
Now, this is about when she came to London to film The Prince and the Showgirl with Laurence Olivier.
Absolutely. So Marilyn Monroe came over, and they famously had a sort of disastrous relationship, and they had completely different ways of working, and it was meant to be the meeting of the movie star with the great actor, and they were meant to complement each other.
Yes.
But it didn't work out that way, and there was this young boy called Colin Clark who worked as a runner, as a gopher on this film set, and ended up, because Marilyn was taking pills and
he sort of looked after
he kind of
her.
looked after her, and they had this momentary thing.
So, so he wrote this, didn't he? And he, young Colin Clark, is it true he is the brother of the politician
Alan Clark, and the son of Kenneth Clark. Yeah, so we've been down shooting at Saltwood Castle, which is where the family live, and it's been phenomenal. I've got to say, it's an amazing British cast with Michelle Williams playing Marilyn Monroe, and we're in the thick of it at the moment.
And you've been acting as well in other things you've acted with Angelina Jolie and been directed by Robert. Where has it all gone wrong for you two?
Oh, you've been very lucky.
Very lucky.
We kind of started at the same time, so it's been wonderful for Hayley and I to work together because we knew each other for a while.
We did, yeah. We kept crossing paths, so it felt inevitable.
Wonderful to see you both doing so well. Listen, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Elizabeth, it's Channel 4, 9 o'clock on Saturday. Is it episode 5's coming up this week, isn't it?
Yes.
We think so.
Episode 5. Okay. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
We are off to LA now.